Chapter 11. More on Flash CS6. Chapter Focus. Timeline Panel. Frames and Keyboards. Layers and Symbols. Create Instances. Display Library Palette. Create Animation. You must have studied about or watched some popular animated movies or Cartoon Networks. Some animated movies like Stuart Little, Ice Age, etc. became famous for their quality of animation. The growing advancement in the field of animation has created abundant opportunities for the people. Animation is the rapid display of a sequence of images to create an illusion of movement. Many young aspirants are eager to develop their career in this area. Some basic elements of Flash have been explained to you earlier. Now let us learn some more facts about Adobe Flash. Timeline Panel. Timeline panel controls file contents over time. It is like compiling all details on the movie reel and sequencing the scene to be played. The timeline panel is made up of frames and layers. When your animation is viewed, it means the viewer is watching the frames in a sequential order starting from frame 1. Flash automatically starts playing the animation from frame 1 and continues along the timeline until it reaches the last active frame. The playhead travels from left to right while playing a file. The playhead indicates the current frame displayed on the stage. Do you know? You can also right-click on the required frame number and choose Insert Frame, Keyframe. Frame and Keyframes. Frames control the time period of the movie. The content is entered in each frame and the frames are displayed in a sequence to play a movie. Frames are depicted as a sequence of rectangles on the right side of a layer. A keyframe is a frame in which you work to make a change in the content. The change may be moving, resizing, rotating, adding, or deleting any object of the content. Inserting frames or keyframes. Follow the steps given below to insert a frame or keyframe. Step 1. Click on the frame below the number where you want to insert a frame or keyframe. Step 2. Click on the timeline under the Insert menu. Step 3. Select one frame or keyframe. Deleting frames. Follow the steps given below to delete a frame. Step 1. Select the frame you want to delete from the timeline panel. Step 2. Right-click on the selected frame and click on Remove Frames. Layers. Layers are like sheets of transparent papers arranged on top of one another. The sequence of layers can be arranged according to the sequence of objects required in a movie. Each layer is independent of all other layers. For example, you may have background on one layer and the animated object on another layer. You can work on one layer without affecting the objects of another layers. Do you know? You can insert a new layer by clicking on Timeline. Insert Layer icon. You can delete a layer by clicking on Timeline. Delete Layer icon. Symbols. Any object that we draw in Flash should be converted into symbol. This symbol helps in creating animations in an easier way. The created symbols are added to the documents library. Symbols help us to avoid the unnecessary expansion of the file size. A specific symbol is stored only once, irrespective of the number of instances of that symbol in a file. Symbols are basically of three types. They are graphics, buttons, movie clips. Creating a symbol. Follow the steps given below to create a symbol. Step 1. Select the object by clicking on it. Step 2. Click on Convert to Symbol in the Modify menu. A dialog box appears. Step 3. Type the desired name and select the type Movie Clip, Button or Graphic. Step 4. Click on OK. Creating instances. A copy of the symbol used in the movie is called instance. It can have its own independent properties, function, size, color, etc., which may be different from the original symbol. Follow the steps given below to create an instance. Step 1. Click on the library palette and select the symbol. Step 2. Draw the selected symbol on the stage. An instance of the symbol gets created. Library palette. All the symbols used in a Flash movie are stored in the library palette. Ctrl+L is the keyboard shortcut for displaying the library palette. Do you know? The default extension of Flash file is .fla. Animation. Animation means a drawing made and compiled in such a manner that it shows movement. Several drawings are connected with one another through a loop. This creates an illusion of movement. Animation in Flash can be done as follows. Creating a motion twin animation. Motion twinning is used for creating a moving effect in a movie in which an object moves from one position to another. The action is specified only on the first and the last keyframes of the path traveled. Flash automatically does the job in the frames between these 2 points. Motion twin does not make any change of shape of the object. Follow the steps given below to create a motion twin animation. Step 1. Draw an object, say a football. Step 2. Right-click on the frame where you want the football to move and click on Insert Keyframe. Step 3. Click on the first frame, go to the Property Inspector and click on the drop-down arrow of Create Classic Twin. An arrow appears between the first and the last frame of motion on the timeline panel. Step 4. Select the inserted keyframe. Step 5. Draw the football to your desired position on the screen. Do you know? For motion twin animation, you have to create the symbol of the object before implementing motion. For shape twin, animation symbols are not required. The animation can be viewed by clicking on Control menu, Test Movie. You can see the football moving from left to right on the screen. Creating a shape twin animation. Shape twin means that an object changes its shape into another shape over a period. Follow the steps given below to create a shape twin animation. Step 1. Click on frame 1 to select and draw an object. Step 2. Select the last frame. For example, you can select 40 and insert a keyframe by pressing F6. Step 3. With last frame still selected, draw any other object. Do you know? A frame is the basic unit of a Flash movie. Every scene has its own stage and timeline. Observe the change in the layer. To play the animation, select frame 1, click on Control and select Play. Creating a frame-by-frame animation. In frame-by-frame animation, an object is created in each frame of the file to produce an animation sequence. Cartoon films and other animated movies are produced using this technique. Follow the steps given below to create a frame-by-frame animation. Step 1. Select the text tool. Step 2. Click on Stage. Then type the first letter H from the word hello. Step 3. You can select the desired font, color and size from the Property Inspector. Step 4. On the timeline panel, select the next frame or second frame in this case. Step 5. Insert a keyframe by clicking on Insert, Timeline, Keyframe. Step 6. Type the next letter of the word, that is E. Step 7. Similarly, add the subsequent new keyframes 3, 4 and 5 with letters L, L and O respectively. You can select your desired font, color and size in each frame. Step 8. View the animation using the Ctrl plus Enter. Points to remember. Timeline panel is the place on Flash screen in which a user can complete, edit and view animations by working on layers and frames. Frames control the time period of the movie. Keyframe is a frame in which you work to make changes in the content. Layers are like sheets of transparent paper arranged on top of one another. Symbol is an object that is created in Flash. Library palette is a place where all symbols are stored. Animation is the rapid display of a sequence of images to create an illusion of movement. Motion twin animation is used to create a moving effect in a movie. Motion twin effect makes an object move from one position to another. Shape twins animation involves change of shape of an object over a period of time. Frames by frame animation involves the creation of objects in each frame to produce a sequence.
A. Take the correct